Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Gloss Garage. And here today I'm going to showcase a good one for you guys. It's a 2010 Audi TT, and I'm just showcasing here, like the beginning, like usual, the products that I've used. And I'm going to put everything in the link down below in the description so you guys can order it yourself, know where to get it. And yeah, so here we have today, it's an Audi TT, a 2010. The owners has had this vehicle literally since it came out. She got it new, and I must say, this is probably like one of the best vehicles I've seen that was well maintained for over 10 years. Although it never been compounded, never been polished, but overall, just the paint is definitely in great condition. She washes it regularly. Her husband washes it regularly, and this is the type of stuff that you get when you take care of your vehicle, right? So I'm just doing a quick walk around. It has a lot of swirls, a lot of scratches, a little bit of oxidation on the paint. It's mainly garage kept, and this is what makes it stand out. So as I'm walking around, you're going to see a lot of like tar deposit, a little bit of iron that you can see in the paint, maybe. And if you look at the wheels, it's just, caked with brake dust and all this stuff. So we're going to use the wheel cleaner and also an iron remover to help eliminate all that brake dust. And I'm just, rubbing my finger on the paint, pointing out all these tar deposits, iron contamination that's built up over time. And again, like I said, this vehicle is in great condition. But at the same time, there is a lot of stains, streaking. I don't know if it was like a wax or maybe, improper washing, but there's just like staining all over the paint. When I put the light on, you guys can see better. As you guys can see here, it's just a bunch of like staining, streaking, scratches, deep scratches, and I'm trying to preserve this vehicle, so we're going to do a compound and a polish because this Audi is like original German paint. It's hard. It's very hard paint, actually. So we ended up using the last cut to cut down a lot of the defects, but then it just left a haze. So then we're going to follow up with the PNS restoration polish, and it'll bring it back up. But as you can see, it's just a bunch of stains, little marks here and there, old wax residue, stains, maybe a couple like, I'm guessing like shampoo stains or car soap, stuff like that. But again, this is still the best that I've ever seen a 10-year-old vehicle. And, I'm putting up here, you're going to see more of like what I'm saying, like the stains, the etchings, and stuff like that. So, like I always do, I like to start with the wheels. So I know it says brake buster on the bottle, but it's actually Adam's wheel and tire cleaner. Because one time I tried to order brake buster and it wasn't available, or it was back order. So I just decided to go with Adam's wheel and tire cleaner, which is still great, just expensive, and it's not dilutable, but it just does the work just fine. Now, while I'm washing the vehicle, you saw all that browning, all that gunk, everything coming off. So I did pretty much 2 passes. Then I sprayed a bunch of the iron, scrub the tires again. And this is why, like I said, guys, I like to do my tires first, because you just saw after the first spray with the pressure washer, all that gunk and everything just flew right on the paint. And when I spray the iron, you see all that purpling just right away, just dissolving all that brake dust. So I'll wash it again. I think I did the tires 3 times. Well, the tires twice and the rims only once, because the tires was just full browning. So I want to make sure that when I put my tire dressing, it sticks on. So yeah, so after the 3rd one, it's all gone. And as you can see, it's just a brand bright, clean tire. So now I'm just going on to the wash. So I'm just pre-rinsing the vehicle, and this car has some protection on it, or very good protection on it. Like I said, She maintains the vehicle. It has like Colonite 840, if I remember correctly, but her husband put it on. He maintains it as well, and you're gonna see just a bunch of water beading, water sheeting. The glass is just looks like a ceramic coated glass. And when I'm doing the wash process, I like to start the top and then work my way down. But at this point is, again, just no pressure. Just let the product do the work. It has protection on it, and it just makes cleaning a lot easier. Just when it comes to polishing, I have to polish that protection off first before I can, start correcting the paint, which it kind of gunks up the pads, which I used a bunch of pads. And the soap that I'm using is the Glass Parenthesis S1 soap. That's the heavy duty soap. And it's actually really good. It's a really good strip wash. We ended up washing this vehicle twice, actually, just because of the protection was strong. But again, we mixed that up with a bit of S1 soap and some Power Clean degreaser to help boost the cleaning and degreasing properties. So that's the only way we were able to pretty much almost strip completely the protection that was already left on the paint. Now we're going to do the iron decon. I like to use the Ultra Clay Towel. Again, this vehicle, I cannot stress it enough, was well protected, well maintained, and the only thing is that, again, it's never been fully deep clean, polished, or detailed, but it did have a lot of iron and fallout and tar, as you guys saw in the beginning of the video when I was showcasing the before. So it took a little bit. It wasn't rough at all. The paint was not rough whatsoever, but it did have a lot of iron deposits. As you can see, I was doubling back over, and you see all that purpling right now. And I like to use the iron as a clay lube as well, just to minimize my steps in one, which I've learned from Ivan LaCroix and other, YouTubers as well. So as I'm scrubbing back and forth, the paint is just feels super smooth, just like glass. I also did that on the headlights, tail lights. We compounded and polished the headlights as well. So that way if you just polish the paint, the headlights look foggy and a little bit yellowish, just because it's a 10-year-old vehicle. Now I'm doing a quick wash. A quick drying process, as quick as possible. So after I'm done drying this vehicle, it just took minimal effort, really. We just moved on to the Flex 3401 that I have right here. And we also used a 15-inch Rupes Bigfoot Mark III, the one that I have. And we paired it up with a Rupes Coarse. I also primed it. I primed my pad with McKees 37 polishing pad conditioner, and then I used the last cut. Like I said, this paint was super hard, and you guys are going to see just from here on. I did about 4 to 5 section passes, medium pressure and like slow, medium speed, and wasn't too slow, just for the compounding step. And it removed at least 60%, maybe 75%, and some other parts, depending where we were on the vehicle. Because again, this vehicle has never been polished or compounded. We weren't going for paint perfection because, again, she values her car, and we're not going for paint perfection. It's not getting ceramic coated. We're going for a spray coating that I decided to go for, and that's about it. The owner did not want a ceramic coating, so there's no point of trying to get this paint perfect as possible because it's not getting like the maximum protection. And as you guys saw right there, it was heavy oxidation. Some black was coming out of the paint. And like I said, 4 section passes wasn't a lot. I used my McKees Rinseless wash right here with a damp towel, and then I followed up with a dry to remove the polish residue. And it just helps with lubricating the surface. That way it's a lot easier, and we're not marring the paint again. And like I said, this paint was really, really hard. And you guys are about to see just a drastic difference of like the markings, the etchings, the scratches. And like I said, 60 to 75%. And again, this isn't a show car. This is a garage kept car that will still be seeing the elements. And again, not paint perfection, right? We want to preserve the paint of the vehicle as much as possible, because that is the only way you keep the value of the car. So as you can see, I'm using the Rupes flashlight, and we removed a bunch. Here it looks like it was like 90% perfection, but no, unfortunately the compound does have some fillers in it. It's not there intentionally, but it does have some fillers, and that's about it. That's the only way I could say it. It has some fillers in there, so it looks like perfect. But again, this area was like 70% compared to before. So I'm going to slide over to the left, and you're going to see all those etchings, marrings, and everything. And now, just clear as day, just looks night and day difference. And this is a white paint, so imagine if it was a black paint. So for the polishing step, I used a deep finish restoration polish from PNS, and I love this polish. I use this often as well. Again, I use a bunch of polish. I have the Rupes Fine, I have the 3D1, and PNS deep restoration polish. Those are like my main go-tos. Oh, and Optimum hyper polish. Those are my main 4 go-to polishes. It just depends how I'm feeling that day and what I want. The polish doesn't make the paint pop more. It's just how you use it, how you work it, and how you know the polish. So I did again for medium speed, actually medium to fast speed, medium pressure on the polish with the McKees 37 5.5 inch cool wave waffle pad. I love waffle pads. It just glides so much easier on the paint. And once I buff it off, you're just going to see just the absolute rich and depthness of the white paint of this Audi. So once we're done with this, I do this around the whole vehicle. And, I take a little break afterwards, but I just move on to the roof. And while I'm moving on to the roof, I just polish out real quick, and I show you guys just another night and day difference from one half to the next. And again, still some scratches, some swirls, but as you can see, there is no etchings the way it is on the left side compared to the front half of the hood. And it's just a night and day difference. Now, if you guys like this concept, just let me know. But here is my favorite tire dressing, is the Carpro Perl. I use this straight, about a third of it straight, and then after that I fill it up with deionized water, and then I just use the rest, and that lasts me about like a good 25 vehicles, maybe even more. It's just that good of a product for me. It gives that deep, rich satin finish, and it stays on the tire for damn well 2 weeks, even on the daily driver. But again, if you guys like this content, just let me know. Just subscribe to the channel, so that way, you guys can see all the future videos. And again, I will be doing more tutorials. This is just something that I had today over the weekend, and I just wanted to showcase this. So I'm using now, I didn't record the prep spray, unfortunately. When I was prepping the vehicle, I was tied up with time. And we prepped the whole car. My wife and I, we prepped the whole vehicle. And we just started applying the glass Parenthesis spray coating. And this is a very forgiving spray coating. You just wipe on, wait about a minute or two, and it just buffs off easily. It's not like a real, hard ceramic that is hard to apply. It's just pretty much wipe on, wait a minute or two, and you're able to buff off. But again, you cannot be lazy with this because you can leave a couple of high spots which you won't want. But this spray coating just brings out the depthness, the richness, and it's protected for, it says 1 year. I've started using this product about 6 months ago, and the other vehicle that I've used it on is about, like I said, 6 months old and it's still going strong. But I also top it with GP Boost or Bead Maker, depending on how I'm feeling that day. And again, I apply pretty much a big, huge section and wait a minute or two and just buff right off. And you feel the slickness right away, especially on the second towel. You feel it right away. The back of the vehicle had so much scratches that was so deep that I just didn't want to bother trying to tackle all those scratches, knowing that in the future it might get polished again. And that is like the worst part of the vehicle. But we did remove about, like I said, overall 60 to 65% of the scratches to bring out the depth and shine of the vehicle. And here is the after results. Just walking around, you could just see how the paint is popping with that spray coating. And again, this is garage kept, so we'll definitely see a good 1.5 year protection on this vehicle, maybe 2 years. And just look out how deep and rich, and it's not even cured yet. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions, just let me know. But other than that, I'm out. Peace.